on Nova 100.
Let's say hello to our next guest, Lauren. Clint is here, and
our next guest is the longest-serving female minister in Victorian state history.
It's not lost on me that I am only the second woman to lead this state, and that is also comes with some emotion.
Please welcome to the show the Premier of Victoria, Jacinta Allan.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome
Thank
to the
you
show.
for driving down from Bendigo this morning.
Well, Bendigo's a beautiful part of the world, but it's great to be here with you this morning.
One of my very best friends, Anna Byrne, is from Bendigo, so I love Bendigo.
So do we, don't we, Clint?
We do, Jacinta, yeah. We've
Because you two have history. You knew each other from
you haven't told them.
when you say history, let's just get things straight. So I was a reporter at Win TV back as a 20-year-old, 21-year-old. You were a baby too,
I'll
right?
stop.
You were a minister at the time. You're the member for Bendigo East, so we did a lot of interviews up the bush.
So you've known him since he was a rat bag.
Oh, he was a lovely,
Thank you,
beautiful
J.A.
young fella. Yes, I loved interviews with Clint. We'd do a bit of fun off camera.
We would, yeah.
It was very good. And look at you now, doing so well.
He's a bit flustered because he loves you. He's so happy you're
It's
a premier.
mutual. It's
I've
mutual
always respected
affection.
J.A. though. We were great mates up in
J.A.
Bendigo. Yeah.
Can we call you J.A. too?
course
We
you
got to
can.
know you for
I
a bit
like
longer.
that.
No,
That's
of course
good.
you can.
All right.
Transferable.
I was devastated when we found out you were coming from Bendigo this morning that we didn't give you the heads up to swing past the bakery and bring in a couple of snot blocks. They know how to do it out
Country
there.
bakeries are
They
so much
really
better.
do.
Snot blocks and pies.
Yeah.
Malmesbury, that was always a good hot spot.
I have a theory about bakeries in country Victoria, particularly if you're a parent with young kids. A good bakery, good public facility, good playground. That's the hot
That's all you
spot.
need.
That's the sweet spot
It's
when
key
you're on
to
the
a
road.
good town, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like I always say that but pubs need to get their head around playgrounds. Put playgrounds in the pubs and
They
we'll stay
used
longer.
to though,
Personal
because
plea.
we grew up at pubs with my
That's what
parents,
I thought.
and they were pubs where I wouldn't even see them for what felt
Yeah, the
like
ball pit.
days
The
because I
Matthew
was in the ball
Flinders.
pit and going down the slide at the Matthew Flinders.
Yeah. You know what? Pokies and gastros killed all that,
Oh,
Lauren.
no.
Hey, let's talk some serious stuff. Yesterday, we dedicated about 45 minutes on the show because it really blew up about pill testing here in Victoria. You have come out and supported and given the green light to doing a trial. The calls were sort of mixed. There was a lot of positive opinions.
I think it's absolutely brilliant and well past due. It's something that they do in the UK, in the Loop. In the UK, do it already everywhere.
There was also some people that were saying, why provide pill testing to people for an illegal substance?
Yeah, there's a concern that it's illegal, and in essence, some people feel like that is encouraging people to go and take drugs.
Yeah, well, look, I want to be absolutely clear. There is no safe level of drug taking, and illicit drugs remain exactly that, just illegal. But it also reflects the announcement yesterday around pill testing, reflects reality. The reality is, if doesn't just have to be a person of any age rocks up to a music festival, and if they've got a pill in their hand, they're intending to take it. They're intending to take it. Like, that's the reality of the world we're in. So knowing that, and knowing too, based on evidence from around the world, you know, there's great evidence and data that comes out of the UK particularly, that where you have pill testing, and it's not just the actual testing of the pill that provides advice on the substance and what's in it and some of the toxic chemicals that are in it, it's also the health conversation you can have at the same time. No judgment, just the facts about this is what's in it, this is what can do to you. Do you really want to take it? And what we know from evidence where this is already happening is that people are more likely not to take the drug.
Yeah.
Right.
So this reduces drug taking. The evidence tells us that this reduces the likelihood of someone taking that drug. And that's
So it's
really
a bit more considered.
It is, and this is where, you know, if you'd asked me years ago, if young Clint Stanaway had asked me in Bendigo years ago my views on this, I probably would have said I'm not too keen on it.
Have you had a change of heart? Because I know that Dan Andrews was opposed to it.
Yeah, well, I really have, and as I said years ago, I probably would have said no, I'm not that keen on it. But you know, becoming a parent, changes a lot of things
that
in your
must
life.
change, right? 'Cause you've
changes
got
a lot of things. I've got a couple of young kids.
Yeah, and as they get older and
Yeah.
their friends are going out and partying and going to festivals and going to parties.
That's exactly right. And my husband and I, we talk about this all the time. Like, you want kids, you want your young kids to go and have a great time, to explore the world, but you want to do it safely. And as I think about the sort of world you want your kids to go into, knowing that we have a health-focused approach, a pill testing approach, that can make a difference. Why wouldn't we go down this path?
Also, like you're saying, say someone rocks up at a music festival with a pill, they're intending to take it. There's also that demographic of people who are starting to get peer pressured into that environment as well. And if they've got the option to find out what's in it, it might be enough to not to make them not go through with it.
It is. And I've talked to other parents about this. I've got nieces and nephews as well as kids. You talk to people all the time about a range of things. But I've also spoken recently to other parents as well. And one mum said to me, young people are smart and they just deserve the information. And that's it.
Yeah,
that's
great.
it. You've got to give people the information. This is the other, I think, really positive outcome from this approach is that, and the evidence tells us this as well, when the pill's tested, people will tell other people what's in it. So it's got that ripple effect.
Yeah.
It's got a ripple
also,
effect.
one of our listeners brought up a really good point yesterday. It's going to affect the dealers as well.
Because it's going to blunt in there.
The black market.
100%. It'll kill the black market because if they're providing dodgy stuff, that word's going to get out and no one's going to be buying from them.
Yeah.
So we mentioned the history of this, and it's worth noting again that the government has been opposed to it in the past. So why the change of heart so suddenly? Because I know it's an emotive issue, but 12 months ago, Dan was vehemently opposed, and now you're saying no, we're for it. We're going to enact this trial.
Well, look, I've spoken about how my own personal views have changed over a number of years, and then became Premier at the end of September last year. And then we had, over summer, we had paramedics, Victorian paramedics, turn out across a 3-month period to more overdoses than they did for all of last year.
Wow.
Is that Flemington?
There was a whole range
festival,
of, there
yeah.
was Flemington, there was the festival out near Horsham, which also had some challenges. And so when you, again, consider the impact it's having, not just on people individually, but on our health system, the pressure it puts on our health system. We took some time to look at, again, evidence, fact, get data, talk to experts, but also importantly too, talk to families as well, which is how we've arrived at the decision we announced yesterday.
And what has the response been for you on that decision? Because yesterday when we opened the phones, I honestly thought it would be overwhelmingly positive, but it was a pretty much 50-50 split.
Scary.
And the people who are against it, which I can understand, right, because some people just don't want, drugs are illegal. They're illegal to take. Why are we doing something that is encouraging people to take them? So I can understand where that 50% come from, but that 50% are really completely against this idea.
Yeah, look, and I respect, you've got to absolutely listen and respect to different views. But for me, it's come down to the fact that this is a reality and we have the power. We know what works. We know what works from reducing harm, providing factual, non-judgmental information to people who are already intending to use that substance. If we've got the power to give that information to reduce harm, to potentially save a life, why wouldn't we do this? That's really how we've come to this decision.
We are on the air with the Premier, Jacinta Allan, this morning. We're talking the pill testing trial. Jacinta, can I ask you an honest question? Have you done drugs in your life?
I got asked this question sometime last year, and I said it was a long, long time ago. There was cannabis a long, long time ago. But again, I don't want this to become
No, but the reason I asked is because there was an issue that got brought up yesterday, and it's so true. This isn't just about...
It's not just about kids
not just
and
about
teenagers.
kids going to music festivals.
No.
All the clubs are packed with people. If you think drugs aren't getting circulated, you've got your head in the sand.
Yeah.
And it's not just pills.
And it isn't, no.
Yeah, and so again, but it is about, for me, looking at the evidence. And for me, that's really important. It's always been important in whatever ministerial or portfolio role I've had for a long period of time. Listening to experts and taking on board the evidence is just so important.
So this is just a trial.
Well, I want to make this really clear. We're not trialling to see if it does or doesn't happen. We plan to bring pill testing into Victoria. It's a trial to see what model works best.
Is it happening in other states?
It
Are we
is
behind
Queensland and
with
ACT,
this?
I believe.
Queensland have a trial. ACT have done a trial and I think have got it more on a more permanent basis.
First the
we are
digital
behind the-
licenses and now the pill testing.
Well, we've got the,
We need
we've
to
got the
catch up.
digital
Did you
license
do the
now.
digital
I
license?
love the digital license.
So do
Why
we.
did that take us so long?
I
My
know.
golly.
But
Fumbling
it's
The
got
through-
Premier. Why did it take so long?
Fumbling through a wallet outside Electric at 1 o'clock looking for your
She's
ID.
here, all your questions answered.
That's cute, like I'd be carded. Hey, it's just gone 8:30. You happy to hang around after the break just quickly?
love
There's something we want to bring up with you. It's a
Ooh,
much
yeah.
lighter topic, but we want to get you to weigh in on it next. You're on the air with Jase Lauren. Clint's here from the newsroom and
Premier,
one of your best, maybe.
It's just like Miley.
Jacinta, Allan, Victorian Premier joining us on the air. The
That
three-
is
CAW doesn't do that, do
No.
they?
they don't.
That's terrible
No, they
singing,
don't.
whoever did that.
Hey, just quickly, because I noticed when Dan would do the rounds, I
Yeah.
mean, it was a different world back then, but he had to travel with a bit of security.
Yep.
Do you got the Popo travelling with you these days? Can you run some reds?
I've got some. We don't run reds. No, we follow every road rule. But no, I've got the team here.
Are you loving it?
So
Something cool.
good.
It's an amazing job.
How long have you been in now?
What's end of September last year? So
Jeez.
9 months, I think.
Gee,
Yeah,
you
9
must.
months.
I just said to you before. You must be glad to be the premier now and not 5 years ago, 4 years ago, however long ago that was. It feels.
I know COVID feels it's a lifetime ago, but also so not that far away. Look, any time there's always challenges because we're a big and busy state.
Yeah.
You know, really big and busy state. It's a really exciting job. It's challenging. The best bit about it is really getting out and talking to people and meeting people. And listening and following through on their issues. That's really the best bit.
You ever
Can
use the
I just-
bodyguards to threaten the kids?
No, the kids are more interested in the bodyguards sometimes.
I feel like premiers are such a big deal now. Like pre-Dan, I didn't know who the premier was. Who was it?
Pre-Dan, it was
Uh-oh. Pop quiz.
Value.
Dennis.
Was it-
Dennis.
oh, was it Dennis?
Dennis Napthine and then
Dennis
Ted Bailey.
who?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't have even known. Do you know who the premier
D.
was before Anastasia Palaszczuk in
Campbell
Queensland?
Newman, I think, for a week.
Oh.
Didn't
Yeah.
last
Well
long.
done.
Yeah, I feel like
They got
premiers
done.
are just a big deal now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I think COVID showed, like, when you think about what state governments do, we run all our schools, we run our hospitals, we run the police
Yeah.
force, we build the roads and train. Like, we're responsible for a lot of things
You
that
are.
people
What
rely
about
on
Premier
every
perks?
single day.
Premier perks. What do
Yeah,
you get that
Premier perks.
you didn't when you were a minister or a deputy premier?
Surely they're not parking you in the waiting bay at McDonald's.
No, you do. Well, you do get dropped right at the front door.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
do.
that's
pretty
good.
nice. It's pretty nice. I do get. I get a few more staff. I get lots of coffees and
Yeah.
teas.
Do you
I
have
love
a snack
good cup
drawer?
of tea.
Because we had Sally Capp, the Lord Mayor
Yeah.
of the Lord Mayor of Melbourne is coming in, and a big question I've got for her is: do you get a snack drawer?
Yeah, my tea. I like those little Turkish delights. I know this is
yeah.
controversial.
Good on
You
you.
might have to do
Oh my
the little
God.
chocolate coated
Okay.
Turkish
You,
delights.
no wonder you two are friends.
I love a
Clint
Turkish
Nanaway over
delight.
here. He's the only
Did you call
young
him
man.
Nanaway?
Nanaway.
Yeah, he's like an old woman. He sleeps with an electric blanket
Yeah.
Do you?
and
Yeah.
eats Turkish delight.
Now, Jacinta, I want to test something out this morning because you would, now that you're the premier, you'd be rolling with some high-powered friends.
Yeah.
And on the show a while back, we were talking about
Celebrities.
who's the biggest big dog you've got in your phone when it comes to high-profile celebrities. Clint said this.
The other day
got
when we
around-
talked about the biggest celebrities in our phone
Yeah,
and you said
Jacinta Allan.
the Premier of Melbourne, I felt sad for you.
Victoria, actually. Victoria.
I actually felt a bit flat for you. Because I know you know.
Do you know what, Lauren?
I know you know bigger
Lauren,
celebrities than
have
that.
you got her number?
No.
No, you don't.
I congratulated
Okay, that
Jacinta
kind of
when she.
backfired on me, didn't it, that grab? We were trying to hang it on Clint. But Clint loves, he's your number one fan.
Oh, well, there is a lot of mutual admiration. I've watched Clint's career blossom. No, genuinely. You left Bendigo and then I'd see you on the telly doing the sport.
Yeah.
It's a real thrill to see young people with talent go on and do
He's,
wonderful
but
things.
Surely you know bigger celebrities than Clint Stanaway.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who's in your
does it
phone?
get much bigger?
Who's
Who's
your
the
big
biggest
dog?
star in your contact book?
You'd have the PM in there.
I've got the PM in there.
Yeah.
Got
Oh, that's
other
good.
talking about other state premiers. So mine's perhaps not as razzle dazzle as Clint Stanaway.
Well,
You were still the biggest dog in his, though.
Albo big on the emojis?
On the text.
He's not bad on the text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not doing voice to text, is he?
Oh,
Or when he does the voice memos?
Does he leave
No.
voice memos?
no. It's more the text.
Yeah,
And do you
right.
guys text on, do you have to be on like Signal or WhatsApp?
more WhatsApp. It seems to be the A lot
go-to.
of business gets done on WhatsApp.
He'd be a thumbs up guy, wouldn't he?
A lot of
Thumbs
business
up
gets
emoji.
done on Signal as well, Jacinta. Hey, thank you so much for coming in this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Great to talk.
And look, I know it's got mixed feelings in Melbourne, and I can, we completely understand because of the fear behind it.
The pill testing.
But I think the pill testing is a great initiative.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How's Victoria going, just before we let you go?
Look, we're going well. If you look at a metric like number of people in jobs, we've got really low unemployment rates and record number of people in jobs. But I will acknowledge that, cost of living continues to be a really tough thing for families.
Yeah.
We do a bunch of stuff. We've got the school saving bonus, free rego for apprentices. We've got free kinder, free TAFE. But I will acknowledge that it's tough for many families, and that's why keeping people in a job and providing cost of living support's a real focus for me.
When's that tunnel going to be done? Because
Which one?
Well,
There's a few
we've got
on
a
the go.
couple.
Jeez,
We've got a
St
couple.
Kilda Road's been a dog's breakfast
So
for a long
Westgate
time.
Tunnel, Westgate Tunnel and Metro Tunnel, they're both going to be open next year.
There you go.
Oh, God,
There
thank
you go.
God.
And just last one, who wins tonight? Are you cheering for the Queenslanders or the New
it's
South
tough.
Welshmen?
I will
Which
confess
Premier
I'm
do you like
not
more?
a big rugby league fan.
Yeah.
Oh, that
But
makes
if you had-
sense.
Basketball's more my thing.
Yeah,
I'm more
just
focused
Bendigo
on
Spirit.
next week. Yeah, go Bendigo Spirit.
You got to pick one.
I know. It's really hard.
Look at the colour of your glasses.
Maybe, I was going to say New South Wales because it means it goes to
Oh,
a best
no.
of three.
No.
But we're going the Maroons. All right, look, see,
Yes.
that's all I care about is that the MCG is going to be packed
It is.
out.
I know,
And
amazing.
that's where they get the people to state of origin.
Yes.
It's here in Melbourne.
The
Yeah,
Premier,
that's
Jacinta Allan, on the air with us this
Good on you,
morning
J.A.
here at Nova 100. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, guys.
Sorry, J.A. on the air with us.
Yay!
Jason Lauren.
Wake up feeling good.
On Nova 100.
Jason Lauren.
Follow them on socials.